I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Dana. So quick just intro on me, Dhruv Patel, Senior Sales Engineer here at UiPath, so knowledgeable on the platform, the products, and really here to help customers and prospects understand our platform and how to get the most out of it. So today we'll be covering a bit of the 23.4 release. There's going to be a lot here to cover, so kind of picked some highlights. And of course, if anyone has questions as we're going through, feel free to either unmute, ask it, or feel free to put it in the chat or even just save it till the end. Happy to do either and kind of go with the flow here. So, what have we kind of seen, in the past few months, the past year? You've really seen a lot of change, not just with the platform itself, but even, just in this age of technology, right? ChatGPT, GPT, generative AI, all these buzzwords are kind of picking up steam and really growing, right? And AI is becoming kind of more and more top of mind for, everyone, whether that's just individual contributors all the way up to leadership and executives. And so really, that's kind of come into the platform, and it also has always been a part of the platform. And we're continuing to make strides in that direction with these new releases and some of the new capabilities and features within the platform. Automation is moving really to that center of a business strategy and turbocharged by AI, right? And so that's really where the platform itself, all the AI and machine learning capabilities infused in it, allow you to bring AI into your organization in a safe, governed, and controlled manner. Really, the way of operating and the way of innovating can be achieved through the platform, both for your people, your processes, and across all your systems within your technology stack. So really, allowing you a way to accelerate human achievement, free up people to do more creative work, right? Remove away that repetitive, mundane tasks that they might be doing on a day-to-day. Purpose-built automation, automate for good, and really, continue to innovate and grow the way that you're bringing technology and AI and machine learning and automation into your organization. Just a quick, slide. You may have seen this. We've recently kind of gone to this layering, right? This layering diagram for the platform into these three specific layers: a discovery layer, an automate layer, and an operate layer. Where all the platform capabilities and features and products really fit in, right? In the discovery area, it's going to be capabilities around how can you understand what's going on in and around your organization and where might there be good candidates for automation or even just process improvement. Once you have a sense of that, right, it's really then how do we actually build those automations and bring the latest and greatest technology into our organization to help free up people and allow them to focus on more creative, complex, thought-provoking activities as opposed to some of those manual repetitive activities. This is also where we'll bring in, the AI, machine learning, a lot of that more advanced technology and capabilities into the platform to really infuse intelligence into the automations. And finally, right, operate. You always need a way to manage this at scale, manage it at enterprise scale in a governed and controlled manner, and be able to report on it. And so that's really how we break down the platform today. Now, across these areas for this 23.4 release, we've really added a bunch of capabilities and features. This is kind of the gambit or the large lens of all the different updates and capabilities that we've added into the platform with just this 23.4 release. We'll cover some of the highlights here throughout each of these areas in a couple of continuing slides. And then, of course, you can always go to our documentation to see more and really go through each of these in more depth to really understand how this can be a benefit to you and the automations that you're building. With that, I'll just take a quick pause. Are there any questions or anything that kind of comes top of mind to anyone who's on the call right now? Awesome. Well, we'll jump into it then. We'll go straight into first this discover area. I've picked a couple kind of key updates that I wanted to go through from the list there. Same with automate and same with operate. Awesome. So one of the first updates to the platform that I want to highlight here is going to be an update to the process mining capability within the platform. We've updated the process graph. So, if you're going in and analyzing the actual flow of information in your systems and applications within the process mining tool, and if you've seen it before, what it does is it takes that log information and turns it into a graph so that you can actually track the process and track all the different variations in that flow. With this release, we've updated the process graph layout itself, so making it much easier to really understand where is that happy path or where is the most common path within the process that is occurring in your systems, and also have a better understanding of where that start and end is. Before, when you would expand this process graph or this tree diagram, it might have gotten a little bit convoluted in terms of where some of these activities lie and where that most common path lied. And so this TRACY process graph really helps emphasize that and keep it more front facing, and just makes it easier to really follow and dive through the process as you're trying to look for bottlenecks or areas where there could be process improvement or even automation. Now, along the same lines with process mining, we've also added another improvement or capability or enhancement, an integration between process mining and task mining. So oftentimes, you're going through process mining, you're really trying to understand, from a system level, what's going on, where could there be bottlenecks. But once you identify where that bottleneck might be, oftentimes the next step that you want to do is understand, okay, what might be happening on a user's desktop during that action or during that phase in the process that could be leading to this bottleneck, right? So that you can better understand what's going on from a user perspective and provide them with support to make it more efficient and to hopefully remove that bottleneck. And so what this integration really allows you to do is now, from the process mining tool itself, you can go ahead and directly start your task mining project that's directly associated with that specific process mining flow that you're looking at. So really making it more seamless in terms of, once you've seen from the system side where and how your processes are running, let's go ahead and move on to that user side, right, through task mining, assisted task mining or unassisted task mining, and really understand what's going on the user side as well, so we can really look at the whole end-to-end picture. Now, continuing to task mining, we've made some improvements to the unassisted task mining, right? Made a more kind of unified single recorder for both the assisted task mining and unassisted task mining. There's a new updated backend architecture, really to help with speeding up the results of the analysis when it comes to having that data get ingested by a machine learning model and really spitting out some of the clicks, the types, the traces that you would uncover during your task mining study. And then also an easier way to export the data once it's captured as a CSV for additional, downstream kind of manual deep diving and additional kind of analytics and checking that you might want to do. So really overall improvements to just the experience with using the task mining tool, as well as with getting some of the information and charts and analytics out of it. Now, another flavor of the discovery layer within the automation platform is communications mining. So you may have heard last year that we were talking about reinfer and having the reinfer acquisition. Well, that's now become our communications mining capability within the platform. And now it's going to become GA. So it's been in preview for a while, but really what communications mining is going to allow you to do is understand the communications that are coming in and around your organization, right? If we think about the full story for the discovery pillar, we've understood process mining, so that your systems and how information is flowing within their systems, task mining, right, how your users are interacting with your systems. And now finally, we're coming full circle with communications mining to really understand and uncover, how are communications moving in and around your organization, right? Every day people are sending emails, chats, tickets, notes. And so this is really going to open up the doors to allow you to uncover how those communications are flowing and really help you understand and take action on those communications, right? From communications mining, not only can you use it as a discovery capability, but you can also use it to then kick off automations and execute downstream actions and activities. Awesome. So now moving on to the automate layer. There's going to be a good amount of updates here, so we'll cover a few highlights as well. The first being Studio Web. So you may have heard that we were coming out with a web-based studio or developer platform where really you don't have to download and install any software. You can just go into your automation cloud and start building automations using Studio Web. And so that's been in private preview and now is moving to this public preview phase where you'll have access to building your cross-platform or mainly API-driven automations using Studio Web. Really, some benefits here, right? Minimizes your IT dependencies, no installations required, minimal programming knowledge required. Again, it's going to be that low-code drag and drop experience with a lot of kind of pre-templated automations that'll be available to you to kind of get jump-started quickly. It's always going to have the latest updated activities available to you within your automations. And you're going to have a lot of oversight, control, live streaming ability, and really a way to manage these automations in kind of a one-stop shop within your automation cloud platform. So really a handy way to build those cross-platform automations and get started with development quickly. Now, continuing on the way of low-code development and building apps. So you may be familiar, and if not, I'll just give a quick rundown, right? Apps is going to be that low-code drag and drop web app development platform where you can build containerized applications that can open up on your computer, on your phone, on any device. And really, because it's a web app, because it's containerized, it's going to be able to fit that device and fit that screen. And it really allows you to build experiences with interacting with different applications and interacting with your automations. One of the big updates to apps itself is going to be public-facing apps and a consumption licensing model. So prior to this, whenever you wanted to use apps, it had to be somebody that was added to your automation cloud organization or that was within your organization and had to log in with their credentials before accessing the app. Now, what we've done with public-facing apps is enabled an ability for you to make your apps public-facing, meaning people outside your organization can actually interact with that interface without doing any login and start to interact with your automations and with the application that you've built. Now, I actually have a little example here. So we use the public-facing apps and have been using it at some of our events that we attend and do some booth work for, and to help provide content to those users. We actually had created a UiPath app that uses this public-facing capability. And so if you have your phones handy, or if you are watching this recording, feel free to scan this QR code and you can get kind of a hands-on experience with one of the public-facing apps that we built. Now, if you do go through and fill out the information to get, some of the information sent to you, you'll see some SAP relevant type information. Just know also behind the scenes, it's going to be some serverless automations that are actually delivering that email to you. So a nice kind of combination there of where, we built some automations in Studio Web, built a public-facing app, and now we're delivering that capability for you to get some hands-on experience with. So feel free to take a look. And of course, if you have any questions, you can let me know. So continuing on with apps, another big request was VB expressions within the actual fields that you're using and configuring within apps itself. This is really going to open up the dynamic power of apps, right? Allowing you to use more of kind of coding or more familiar formula type language within your applications and really create some more powerful, more complex experiences within apps itself without having to go directly to an automation for some simple kind of formulas and expressions. So really, going to be opening the doors into some of the capabilities and complexities and more advanced tech capabilities to be able to build into the apps that you deliver. Now, again, on this low-code development discussion, right? One of the things that we wanted to do as well was build solution accelerators. Really, what these solution accelerators are going to be templated approaches for helping you build some end-to-end automations within different lines of business within your organization. So we've had a lot of experience here at UiPath with customers, working with customers on building a lot of common solutions to common problems that are happening in and around organizations. And so we've taken that knowledge, taken some of those industry expertise, and really created solution accelerators to help with some of the most common widely used systems and applications where you need to tackle some of these high impact use cases that we see quite often. And so, this helps speed up the development time, gives you some templated approaches, some templates and things to follow with instructions on how to leverage the platform to really solve this end-to-end scenario that you're looking to solve. And so you can actually go to marketplace.uipath.com today and go ahead and browse some of the solution accelerators that we already have. We will be continuing to add more and more solution accelerators to that list as we continue on throughout the year and beyond. So continue to check that website and feel free to download and play around with some of those solution accelerators and see if any of them can solve some of the things you're looking to do, or even spark some new ideas for where automation can help make your organization more efficient and where you can leverage automation. Now, speaking of speed and efficiency, our robots have also gotten faster. So as part of the release, we've improved robot startup time, robot execution time. So just again, making our robots more efficient, making them faster, and really making them operate as smoothly as possible. So we're continuing to improve the speed and execution capabilities of the robots. And so we have some improvements here for robots with less than 10 activities, 50% improvement in robot startup time, and then 35% improvement for ones with more than 100 activities. So some good speed efficiencies that you can start to see in the latest versions of the robot. Now, when developing automations for those robots, we've added some updates to our computer vision capabilities. So again, going back to that AI and machine learning and really, investing in continuing to build that out in the platform. It's always been a part of the platform, always been infused in our capabilities, but really adding to that, we've made some more improvements to computer vision itself. And now we've started to actually integrate it into the normal selector technology. So if you have the latest Studio 23.4, you can actually enable computer vision as part of the regular 3-tiered unified selector approach to finding UI elements. So no longer do you need a separate activity pack for computer vision. It's going to be one of those default kind of methods within the selector technology when you go to do that UI automation. So a couple benefits there, right? Lowering the complexity of using computer vision within your automations, making just the general targeting experience more powerful, especially in complex scenarios, and really making the reliability of our selectors that much better, right? Now bringing in as part of that kind of 3-tiered approach, computer vision, to really just add that more resilience to the UI activities. Now, UI automations are great, but really, what you can do with the platform is a combination of those UI and API automations. And so we're also adding more capabilities from an API automation perspective as well, so that you can really get the most of using APIs within your automations, especially in conjunction with, some of those UI automations. And so with integration service, if you're familiar, if you're not familiar, integration service is really a way to manage your connections in a central location to all those common systems through those APIs, and then really make it more seamless to use within your automations and within Studio. You may have seen that we had something called Connector Builder. So what Connector Builder is really, it allows you to bring your own APIs, custom API connectors into integration service. So we have a bunch of pre-built connectors that have already been built out and developed within integration service, but you also now have the ability to bring your own connector, set it up seamlessly within integration service, and then really manage that connection within this single centralized location. And again, it really makes using APIs within your automations that much easier and that much more simple to manage and maintain. Now, along those lines of centralized management and maintenance of integration service with that connector builder, you could also do connection sharing. So prior to this, everybody who wanted to have integration service and use it was creating their own connections and managing their own connections. But now what you're able to do is really govern, create, and share all your integration services and connections in those assigned folders for individuals who are also in that folder. So really, you can now use single credentials by your entire team to work with those APIs and to work with those different systems. So it really helps expand the capabilities when it comes to maintaining your API connections and giving your developers access to those connections to use within their automation. Now, speaking of automations, we've also enhanced our trigger-based attended automations. So if you weren't familiar, we've always had some capabilities around background or just attended type automations with certain triggers to automatically trigger those attended automations running. And so now what we're able to do is we kind of revamped all that, modernized a lot of it, and really enhanced a lot of those trigger-based attended automations and call-out capabilities. So you'll see there's a lot, and I'll send this link out afterwards as well, so you can watch us go through the attended automation experience, but really expanded the capabilities in the attended area so that you can really create some cool and unique experiences, especially when you look at background automation triggers, background attended automation executions, and really flip-flopping between those background automations and attended foreground automations. It really allows you to build some really cool attended experiences. Now, we talked about a lot of the UI automation, the activities, AI, ML when it came to computer vision, but also we've had AI and ML improvements across the platform as well, especially when it comes to things like intelligent document processing and our AI center. So we've added more pre-trained models to our list of models that you can use and quickly bring into your processes and even train on your own documentations. We've also made general improvements with doing classification and data extraction. So now, based on the data set that you're training or that you're using to train a model, you can actually use that to do what we call as one-click ML for document classification, or take that same data set and leverage it for a machine learning classifier. So really made some strides and improvements in the models that we have, the models that are available, and the capabilities of those models to extract data from the different documents that you're looking and that you're processing on a day-to-day. Again, for the full list of models, this is just a small subset. There's actually a bunch more. I would go to our documentation. You can just search, UiPath out of the box, AI, machine learning, or document understanding models. And there's a whole host of those models there, as well as our, language capabilities and all of that. So I highly encourage you to check that out as well. Now, along those lines of document understanding, what we've also done is added in a way to add business rules directly into the taxonomy manager. So oftentimes when we're validating if fields were extracted or if data was extracted correctly, we had to build those business rules into the workflow itself, or with Studio, you had to then take the extracted data, build out your business rules, and use that as kind of the yes/no from a validation perspective, if you want human in the loop or straight through processing. And so we wanted to make this a little bit easier of an experience. And so now some of the business rules you can actually set up within Taxonomy Manager itself for that specific field. An example of this that you can see is in the Taxonomy Manager for this total field. You're actually able to automatically add in a mathematical expression to add up the net total and the VAT number that are extracted from the document. So really what this is going to allow you to do is do some of those simple logic and business rules ahead of time before even having to build that out into your Studio workflow. So really, again, just making it that much more user-friendly to create business rules and to make sure that when you're doing extraction using AI and machine learning, you're putting in the right guardrails and checks before you go through straight through processing or human validation. Now, we talked a lot about intelligent document processing, but again, AI is top of mind. And so we're talking, next about some of the areas where we've made some strides in bringing integrated NLP and AI machine learning capabilities into the platform. First one is OpenAI Connector, right? ChatGPT, we've all heard of it, came from OpenAI. And so now you can actually easily bring that into your automations and start taking advantage of that generative AI machine learning model or that large language model within your automations. So rather than you having to create the API connection manually, we've really abstracted a lot of that away. And now there's a connector that you can use to more seamlessly bring this in. And it kind of structures out the different inputs and parameters that you'll want to provide to it to generate a response and use that API connection. So really, again, just helping with speeding up the development time and making it that much easier for developers to take advantage of AI and machine learning within their automations. Now, along those lines, we've also added another connector, AWS SageMaker. So again, here, it's another way to bring in machine learning and AI into your automations in a more seamless manner. You're going to be able to bring in any models that you have on SageMaker into your workflow and start taking advantage of using it that much easier. So really, again, bringing AI machine learning into the fold in, again, a drag and drop low code manner. Now, we've talked about the integrations or bringing in through other activities AI machine learning, but you may have heard a little bit about Clipboard AI. Clipboard AI is one of the ways that we're actually bringing in AI machine learning directly into our products. Clipboard AI is going to be a really easy way to do universal copy paste between two different locations. So you can really take any source document or any source, it could be Excel, it could be a document, it could be an email, really any source application, you could take information from that, copy it off of it, and paste it into any destination. There's actually a generative AI experience and semantic model in between that's going to, and a universal extractor model that's actually going to extract data from your source location or source system and put it into your destination system and really match up the fields automatically. Right now, it's available through the UiPath Insider program. Highly recommend you check it out. It's a really cool glimpse into the direction we're moving, especially when it comes to bringing AI and machine learning into the platform and making it available for end users. Now, lastly, in the automate section and with the AI machine learning, one other thing that was announced was our partnership with Amelia Conversational AI. So again, bringing AI into the fold, into the platform. This partnership is really going to help you create or have access to a package solution for customers seeking to automate and deliver an AI-powered self-service experience. Help desk, that type of thing, ITSM, a lot of those low-hanging fruits, leveraging the Amelia conversational AI interface and then kicking off automations downstream is really going to help you kind of cut away some of that low-hanging fruit, improve your SLAs, and really from a self-service experience, make it that much easier for you internally to start using Amelia and AI machine learning to kick off and execute different automations downstream. So another powerful AI machine learning partnership that we created and really brought into the platform. I'll just take a pause there. I know we covered a good bit. Just want to see if there are any questions before we move on to the final kind of operate. Just a couple more slides. Awesome. So now operate, right? We talked a bit about some of the enhancements in the discovery perspective, an actual automate perspective, but now operate, right? When we think about it from more of an operational standpoint, governing, managing, especially at scale, we've made some additional improvements here. So first with insights, there's an update to that automation hub and insights integration. So now you can really start to bring together the data set from Automation Hub and from your live production running automations together to really produce some quality reports and help you report on things like ROI, right? Estimates and actuals, report on aging reports for your Automation Hub ideas, and really just improve how you can do your reporting as your automation program continues to grow and progress. So it really just makes it that much more seamless for you to report to leadership and executives in kind of this one-stop shop within Insights. In addition, for Insights itself, we've also added in some cross-tenant dashboard templates. You will also be able to add some customizations to these too. But prior to this, it was only tenant-based Insights dashboards, and so now we've created a set that can go org-wide or across all of your tenants. So again, improving how you can report on how your robots are running, how your processes are executing, and really get a better sense of your ROI and operationally how you're doing at more of that organizational level and not just those tenant levels. Now we've added a good amount of additional improvements from a testing perspective, especially when it comes to the automation side. So if we think about it, we've added things like the profiler in Studio, we've added timer activities, and a bunch of other things. But now if you look at it from more of the operational side, we take a look at Test Manager. When we talk about SAP specifically, you may have heard we announced a partnership with them. We have released this Test Manager Heatmap for SAP. So if you are using SAP, this heat map is really going to help you uncover where there's opportunities to run and execute tests within your SAP environment. It can help with changes as you're changing or making changes to your SAP system. This is going to help you really pinpoint where you should run your tests and where you should focus your test executions on. So this heat map can really come in handy for those using SAP. Now, we've also made some improvements into our Test Manager connector. So, part of what we had with Test Manager was the ability to connect to your lifecycle management systems. And so we now have an integration with TaskTop, which is going to then allow you to connect to a ton of other lifecycle tools for no additional charge. So really just, again, expanding how integrated our testing solution can be with the lifecycle management tools and the tools that you're using today in a more seamless manner. We've also added in a testing migration service. So, if you have any other testing tools and you're looking to move to UiPath, we have the ability to help you with that migration and help really move all of your test scripts into this single platform, right? You get that benefit of reusability, your automations and your testing tool coming together and really having that reusability component between your testing teams and your automation teams right in a single location. So we really a service there to help with that. Now we go kind of just from a more orchestrator perspective, right? Unified management and governance. One of the highlights I wanted to cover was some capabilities around debugging and when things fail or if automations are working, kind of checking and making sure that they're running as they should be. There's some capabilities around live streaming, taking remote control, and video recording of the automations as they're executing. So really, we've enhanced a lot of the visibility that you have into those automations as they're running and as they're executing in production. So really a handy way to kind of do some debugging, kind of do some checks here and there on the automations as they're running, especially when you talk about unattended robots, they run off in the background. And this can just help you understand the logs that much more. Now, speaking of robots as well, we've also improved our automation cloud robots. So there's been some additional updates here, bring your own license, enable the ability to have multiple runtimes, and really having Studio pre-installed on the base image of those robot VMs. So again, improving, if you are a customer that's interested in automation cloud robots or, don't want to kind of manage your own infrastructure, this is a great option to really have us manage the infrastructure. You bring your applications, your machine image, and you can start running automations directly in our cloud. So really truly fully SaaS if you use these cloud robots. Awesome. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today from let's go back up. From an update perspective on the 23.4 platform. Now we didn't cover everything, kind of just picked and chose some highlights there from each of these sections. So again, we'll send the larger version of this deck out so you can kind of go through some of these updates in more detail. But again, check out our documentation. It'll have even more detail on some of these updates here. And with that, I'll kind of take a pause on this slide and open it up to questions.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, here I'm Luis Fernando Pasos. I'm from Venezuela, and I'm really passionate about hyperautomation and the UiPath platform. I think I have a question. It's not specifically of, I think, anything you've talked of, but I was wondering if it's possible to just acquire a license for a attended robot. You know, that's because I have seen that the options UiPath has is like attended user, I think it is. And it includes a whole lot of things that I actually don't really need. I just need the attended robot license, like another attended robot. So is that possible to acquire?
So are you talking about, well, first I'll ask this, do you have a developer license right now?
No, I'm a community right now, but I've been investigating so I can move on to acquiring a license.
Yeah, I would check with your the account team. They'll have some options for you. We do have there should be the ability to get an intended robot, but again, I would check with your account team to know more. And I think there's also on our website, you might be able to, there's a contact us page, and we can get it for you as well.
Yeah,
if
for
you want
sure,
to
for
inquire
sure.
that.
Oh yeah, I have tried it, and I'm still in the process of it, you know, like in the waiting of receiving a response. But I just wanted to leverage this opportunity, you know.
Yeah, what's your organization that you're part of?
I'm right now a freelance. I'm offering
Freelance,
solutions. Yeah, I'm freelance, but I'm offering solutions in the name of an agency I'm kind of creating. And it's kind of like small solutions for businesses around, local businesses. And yeah, I'm on my way, you know. UiPath Labs definitely being a new solution, which is great to start implementing solutions to these businesses that are smaller than the corporate ones. So yeah,
I would
I'm on
say
that way.
I think on our, I mean, the community license comes with some things. I think if you go to our website, there should be some tiers to how you can buy or get some licenses today. So we'll send you that link. I'll send it to Diana. We can get that to you.
I've saw some. There is. I'm kind of confused because I have seen two pages. One page is like I can somehow custom what I need, but the other page seems to have like a price that are three options. One is the free one, then you have the pro that starts from $420, $420, and the other is like contact the team, you know, like let's have a chat. So I've been really confused on the pricing of the license since I have seen all these two pages that are somehow different.
Yeah, that might just be a difference, right? Enterprise versus just community versus general. So we'll get you to the right direction.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But glad to know you did fill out the that contact us form. So that's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I see some questions in the chat. Can we expose this UiPath apps to business users? So yes, you can expose apps to business users, right? There's two ways. One, you don't have to make it public facing, right? General apps, as long as they have an account on Automation Cloud, they can access your apps to use. So if you build an interface for them to access, you can send them the link to the web app and they can access it and log in with their Automation Cloud account. Now, you can also turn it what we call as public facing. And public facing means you don't need to log into anything to access the app. It's truly anybody in the org can access it. So just to give you an example, if you do scan this QR code, it's actually using a public facing UiPath app. And so you can get a quick, if you scan it with your phone, you can get a quick sample of how that works. You'll notice when you scan it, you don't have to log in or anything. It takes you directly to that URL, and you're starting to interact with something we built in UiPath apps. It was built for SAP Sapphire, which was last week and is happening in some other locations, but should give you a good feel for that. I see the second question is, any insight on handwritten recognition or signature extraction through IDP? So we have two things there. We have our UiPath OCR engine, which you'll get if you have a UiPath platform. You'll have that OCR engine that's free to use, and it can recognize handwriting. I would check the documentation for any specific languages, but it does have a large library of languages that it's going to be able to handle, as well as handwritten language. And then signature extraction, we actually have a machine learning model that can do signature matching. I believe it's in preview right now, but we can do signature matching and then signature identification in the sense of, is it present or not? Does that answer your question for number 2? Okay. Perfect. I just got a yes in the chat, just so it was. Okay, and the third question, active bot monitoring facility through UiPath Cloud. Any update on that? That is most likely one of the last slides I probably covered around the live recording capability. So you can actually record the activities of those unattended robots and then take a look at that view later to really pinpoint, where there could have been an issue or just to help with general debugging. So there are some capabilities around that. Awesome.
Drew, this is Diane. I have a question. With communication mining, would a good example of that be like sales calls where you're trying to automate all the conversations you've had?
So it wouldn't be voice. We don't do voice to text.
Okay.
But if you can get it into text and then get that information to communications mining, transcripts could work. Really where I've seen some good use cases and we can share a video. ITSM is a good one, right? Tickets coming in, emails, those kinds of, even surveys, actually, I've seen some done there too. So as long as the text is already in, or the data is already in text format, that's where you can leverage the communications mining.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, hello, Drew. It's me again.
Yeah.
I'm going again with the apps topic. I think, or you might not be such more familiar with it. I don't know, but I have a simple question. Is it possible to somehow track the users that get logged in the app and somehow make it like an account, where I can manage governance and the amount of capabilities a user can manage in the app?
Yeah, so that's default. That's the default app. So if you don't turn on public facing apps, then they have to log in with their automation cloud account. And if they do that, then you have access to all the logs, all the actions that they take, and you have all the full governance capabilities of the cloud platform there.
Of each user.
But yeah, for the users.
Yeah, that's the question I had. So
yeah, that's still the default capability. The public facing apps is now a new option. So you can turn that on for an app and then anybody can access it.
Yeah, I actually saw that public app a while ago. Like that's like 2 months ago that it's available, I think.
Yeah, it's been in preview.
Okay.
or it's been basically, we've had it in preview, but it's part of the 23.4 release.
Yeah, understand. Yeah, that's great actually.
And we're using it, so.
Yeah, no, it's very efficient, and the use cases is, it's every time I see something new UiPath, it's just spans what you can achieve with it.
It
So
opens the
it's great.
doors. Yeah, that's been the coolest part, I think, public facing apps, because it allows you to start building experiences for anyone, right?
For
That's kind of the
clients, for
biggest thing.
customers, not
Yep.
for the business. Like,
Exactly.
it's great. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
even
great.
internally, you could have it, right? So that it's just a
Yeah,
seamless user experience. They don't have to log in, but they
for
can
sure.
interact with it.
Yeah, as a user, as a predefined user, that it's just,
Exactly.
yeah, no, yeah, it's great. It's great. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Any additional questions? Okay, well, Drew, I just want to thank you for speaking today. We really appreciate it, and I want to thank everybody for joining. We are looking forward to having more meetings for the Canadian team. So again, if you guys have any topics that you want to share with me that you're interested in, I'm happy to make sure that we get speakers for those. And I also just want to remind you that the recording will be available tomorrow. So look forward to that. And thank you all for joining.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.